If you don't know me, my name is Marcos Gouvea. I teach Latin in the 8th grade at Imago, and I'm also the academic dean of the high school that is beginning this fall. And I've been asked tonight to share an update, give a brief word about what's been going on. It's been about 10 months since the board recognized the call for the Imago School to expand into a high school this coming September. And it's only a little less since I was given the privilege of leading this expedition. We were hearing about the unknown lands. These are the mountains on the edge of the unknown lands to which we are now sending a new expedition out to. And this sort of event is great to just remind you just how much fun that is, right? How many times you get to do something like that in life. So I'm very grateful for that. So at the college I attended, there was a phrase that all that was needed for a good education was a good teacher on one end of a log and a student at the other, which is good because that's about what we can achieve. No, if we follow that line, at the very least, I'd like to give you an account of where we are with getting the teachers, getting the students, and the log, right? So, or in our case, maybe a house and some amenities and the funds to purchase them. So, how are we doing? Let's begin with teachers. Since last May, we've expanded our high school faculty to 5. With this group, we're poised to teach Latin, geometry, algebra 2, drama, literature, biology, all in the next year, and with further courses in chemistry, ancient Greek, history, geology, and further mathematics in years to come. Furthermore, we're continuing conversations with others about the fine arts, common arts, and athletics. I have to say, I've been moved by both the rich knowledge and experience of our faculty, but also by their heart, both for the students and for the willingness to learn and to take on this adventure. And I just look at that and say, wow, what an abundance. We have a lot to offer, and what a joy that is. We've also held open houses for the Imago upper school families and students, as well as for those outside the school. And since then, we've had 7 of our students from Imago apply. We've completed interviews with all of them and are delighted with them. In the next 2 weeks, Diana and I will be interviewing their families, and we really hope thereby to begin our partnership with them in a new way, based on the conviction that not only are we educating these young men and women together, but that we must be in communication about it. We'll have one more open house scheduled for May 15th, so if you know of families still looking for a good place or who might fit well at Imago, please let them know. Okay, so what about the log? So led by the inestimable, the indefatigable Debbie Parks, we kicked off our fundraiser at a dinner for supporters in November. We have since raised over $320,000 of our $500,000 goal from 34 donations. Thanks be to God. But also, we've received donations of time and of skills, and even an elegant and very hardy tea set. Plans for the decoration and readying of Percival Place are underway. I wish you could hear some of the things, the way that people are pouring their energy and passion into thinking about how to make it a lovely and hospitable environment. Also plans for designs for a new laboratory in the main school that could be shared between the high school and the upper school and the science club. So stay tuned for that. There's more exciting plans coming along that soon. There are more events we're planning. We're going to be doing something with the Jogathon as a fundraiser. We're going to be doing more alumni outreach. So there's more going on in those lines as well. All right, so I've hit the teacher and the student and the log, but you might notice that I haven't hit one part, which is that I said if you put those 3 things together, you get education. How do you prepare for that? How do you prepare for a good education? Well, in our case, it's meant a lot of intentional work towards establishing a culture for the school. We've invited Marta Burbeck to serve as the steward of our culture at school, to promote hospitality in the school among its members and for those coming from outside. We've also been having weekly faculty meetings to produce, really with the aim of producing a rule for teachers to articulate the commitments and the disciplines that we'll undertake that will help us to support each other in this task, to bless our students, and to really grow towards the vision that we have. There are also things that are harder to list. It's really hard to convey the myriad decisions that have to be made during this period. Slow but necessary work towards the reality of having students actually walking in the door and being instructed. It's also hard to express just how lovely it has been to work with a group that is so dedicated to working well with one another, with grace and with thoughtfulness. It's truly a privilege. I did want to share with you just a little bit of what it's like, though, to be on the inside of this project. Invite you in. So we often find ourselves balancing the hard work of good preparation against the time restraints we have. Having been called to, start a high school, September, right? We're constantly working. How do we get to the next step in time, and how do we do it well? And many times I found myself saying to myself, mostly, to do this next step in a way that would give me confidence that we were doing it well, that we have it covered, that I have it under control. I would just need more time to ask more questions, to pursue more people, to do more reading. So that's been constantly there. But God, let me tell you about him. Early this calendar year, I found myself in a puzzle. I'd been spending weeks and perhaps even months thinking about our literature curriculum. I was really struggling with the choices that we could make, and I needed advice. I found myself stuck. What I really wanted was a teacher. I wanted someone else that could come in and help with this, but it was mainly on me. And at that time, I decided to follow up on a slim lead with a woman who had told me the previous summer that maybe in a year or two she might be interested in doing something like what we were doing at Imago. And so I thought, let's talk and let's see what'll come of that, and at least I'll get some advice from someone who's an experienced teacher. So I reached out, and we met. And not only did she have good thoughts, it turned out that suddenly now was a great time to come and teach at Imago. The time was right for her and her family, and you know what? She brought in a great experience in classical pedagogy. She brought in great experience in drama, which, as you've heard, has been so important in Imago's history. And she could fill several gaps in our curriculum. And she was really excited about our vision. So this is not a one-off, friends. This is what it's like to work in this project right now. And I have felt the Lord teaching me through this process. He's led us to an exciting and worthwhile task, and so also to a place of great need, a place where we really need to lean on him. He's asked us to put ourselves on the hook, but he's also providing, and providing abundantly in that need. And he's responding to our trust by giving us joy. So, I want to invite you into that. I want to invite you to pray for us, because praying for the Lord's work is satisfying and encouraging work. You want to be praying for this. It's going to be encouraging. We still need to hire more teachers. We need people in fine arts and music. We need to refine our plans for athletics. We'd be happy to have more students. We want to keep it small, but we could expand at this point, and we'd be happy for that. We need to fill out the rest of our fundraising goal so that we have the means to continue to expand in the way we want to in these first 5 years of the high school. So I invite you, pray for these things. I think it'll be a delight for you. We would be extremely grateful for any time that you lift us up to for the Lord. And I also want to invite you particularly to come together and pray with us. We are going to be calling 2 prayer meetings for the friends and members of the Imago community. One of them will be on Tuesday, April 29th at 2 p.m. The other one will be Wednesday, May 28th at 6:30 p.m. And we would be very glad to join with you, for you to join us to offer thanks for all these good things that the Lord is doing and continuing to do, and to also come with us in our need and to ask for those things that are most necessary. So, thank you very much.